Hi, Bill here. I'd like to talk about skewers. So in this position, the white rook is checking the black king, which is lined up with the knight. So the more valuable piece is in front of the weaker piece. When the king moves out of check, the knight will be exposed and the rook can take it. So a skewer is lining three things up. So here, the bishop can skewer the two rooks. When one rook moves, the bishop will take the other one. Here, white can block the skewer. The rook is skewering the king and the queen, but white can block. Here, white can escape the skewer by moving the king to defend the rook. And here, the black queen is skewering the white king and queen. The white king moves and keeps the queen defended. This time, the black bishop is already under attack by the white king. White skewers with the bishop, and when the king moves, he can win the bishop. Here, the bishop is attacking squares which prevent the king from moving where it could defend the bishop. So after the bishop checks, when the king moves, white can take the bishop. So here we have a skewer on the diagonal because the knight prevents the king from moving where it could keep the queen defended. So here, similar sort of thing, white skewers and the knight prevents the king from moving where it could defend the queen. So now the bishop does the job of the knight. The bishop stops the king from moving where it could defend the queen. So now we have a few moves in a row. First of all, the rook skewers, king moves up to defend the rook. Now we have discover check, which creates a second skewer. So this time, black will not be able to save the rook. So white has a skewer if you can get the bishop to here, skewering the king and the queen. So he moves the pawn out of the way, attacking the bishop, and when the bishop moves, he can do the skewer. Of course, black didn't have to move the bishop. He could have stopped the skewer, but he would have lost his bishop. Now, before we do a skewer, we start off with a sacrifice. So we sacrifice the exchange. The king and the rook are lined up and are ready for a skewer. So in the process, white gains a bishop. Now, white would have a skewer on this square, but the rook's in the way. So he starts off with a clear and sacrifice, clearing the square for a skewer. Now, white starts off with a skewer, and now the pawn check drives the king away from defending the rook. So white starts with a skewer. Black gets out of the skewer by blocking, but now the bishop is in a pin. So white does a skewer, sacrifices the bishop, and follows up with another skewer in which the king cannot move and defend the queen. So white does one skewer, follows up with a second skewer. And in this case, white begins with a pin. The queen takes it. Now he skewers, and now the king cannot move and keep the queen defended. So here we do the skewer. The skewering square defended, but it doesn't matter because we're going to follow it up with the other rook. So rook checks and skewers, knight takes rook, rook takes, and we're going to win the queen. So again, we sacrifice the exchange because we don't mind because we're going to win the black rook at the end of it. So now, check would be a skewer winning this rook, but the rook is defended by a knight, and also this bishop guards the checking square. So we'll start by sacrificing the other rook. We'll sacrifice the exchange. Now there is a skewer winning the rook. So these are lined up. There's a pawn in the way. So we'll start by swapping rooks. That will open up the f-file. Now we have a skewer. So here we do a skewer, which is just a sacrifice, but the idea is to draw the king to where we can now do a knight hook. We still make a material gain because we gain a queen worth 9 for a rook and knight, which are only worth 8. Okay, so this combines a couple of ideas. First of all we sacrifice the exchange. At the end of it we sacrifice the pawn to deflect the king away from defending the rook. Now here's another skewer preceded by a sacrifice. So sacrifice, skewer, and win the rook. In the process winning a bishop. So that's the end of the section. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching.